The Argo women swept the homestand to right the ship. Now they're alive and well in the heart of the GSC race. Ranked 10th in the nation, the men's comeback fell short Sunday following a thrilling win to match the school record home winning streak on Friday. Chloe Branch has turned into a fourth for the Argo women, and she comes by today to talk about her success. It's all here on Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network. Welcome into Argo Sports Weekly with so much to get to this week. Let's get right to it with women's basketball, and we welcome in Stephanie Lawrence Yelton, women's basketball head coach. Stephanie, great stretch for you guys this week. Couple of big wins at home.
Oh, huge wins at home. Wins that put us right in the running for one of those top 4 seeds in the conference tournament.
Yeah, and that's big. You know, once you get to tournament time, those top 4 are kind of the big 4.
Yeah, going into the West Georgia game, the win against West Georgia, that game we had on the line either being in 4th or possibly in 8th or 9th in our league. I mean, that's how important each of these games are this time of year.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of parity right now in the conference.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Union is running the table right now. They're undefeated at that number 1 spot. But everyone else is crammed up in there in the middle. And so every game's going to be important. Every win is, get you closer to your goal at the end. And with only 9 games to go, I mean, that says a lot.
Well, let's take a look at the West Georgia game. It was a wild one Friday night at the Fieldhouse. Went into double overtime here. Good feed inside to Chloe Branch, and she's really been playing well.
Oh, Chloe's been outstanding in the paint. I mean, playing great defense, looking for shots. She's a great passer while she's inside, just doing really good things for us.
And how about Shami Goodman? That's way out there.
Yeah, Shami finished that game with 6 threes in the game. So, again, it's nice to see her getting, fired up and lit up from the outside.
There's another one, as you mentioned, 6 threes, totaling 18 points for Shami Goodman in that game. Haley Neiman. That was right at the end, too, to force overtime.
That was the play of the game. That 3 there on a steal with 3 seconds left forced that game into overtime to give us a chance to win.
Now, it was initially called a foul. They waved off the foul, and then it went on to overtime. And then you guys took care of business. Shami again, the game-winning 3 there.
Right, we scored quickly in overtime. We're able to get the lead, and then we had to stop 3 possessions in a row at the end with our defense to maintain the win, and we were able to do that.
And that's good progress for you guys, because the defense, you guys have been okay offensively, but the defense has been a little behind, I feel like, where you guys were last year.
True, I think that's true. Our players are working hard. Again, I think our defense is a system that keeps getting better and better as the season goes along, so to see it catching up with our offensive production is a good thing.
And still, Haley had 15 points. Courtney, a big rebounding game for her, which is something I feel like you guys really needed to see from her with the 16 boards.
Yeah, certainly Courtney, sometimes what she brings to the table is not necessarily in the stats. Block shots and playing great defense and getting rebounds, that's her game.
And then it was a chance to really open things up against Auburn Montgomery on Sunday, not Saturday like it was originally scheduled. And there's Belle Bistro hitting the baseline jumper.
This team was pesky that we played. I thought we did a great job of moving basketball against their zone. You'll see us score from the perimeter. We scored from the inside. There's Chloe Branch again with a great drop step. I mean, just good ball movement on offense.
Yeah, she's really come along, as we talked about. And she'll be on the show a little later. And then the baseline jumper there with a nice shot.
Yeah, I mean, it was, again, a team effort of moving the basketball, getting it to open players. We were making 4, 5, and 6 passes before we scored against their defense, and that's how you break the zone down.
Chloe had 20 on Friday night, which was a season high. Then she went on, upped herself, 28 on Sunday with 16 rebounds. Another great bucket there. And then Shami continuing to light it up from outside.
Yeah, this was her second game with 6 threes made in 2 consecutive games. I don't know if many players across the country are doing that right now. So hopefully we can make it 3 games coming up this week in a row where she makes 6 threes or more.
No doubt. Plus she had 18 points in that game. Excellent to see her. And that's important. The defense is starting to come around, and now your offense is really starting to take it to the next level, it feels like.
But we've talking about the players that are seniors in our program. Shami Goodman, this is her last year. Chloe Branch, this is her last year. Courtney Meyer, this is her last year. Our seniors are really stepping up and carrying our team now.
All right, so much more to get to. Coach Yelton returns to discuss a tough trip to North Alabama and UAH. This is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
We will never settle for the kiddie pool. We are destined for the vast ocean of opportunities that await us. We were born to make a splash. At the University of West Florida, you can make a discovery, make a difference, make a splash. So take a deep breath and dive in. the University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. We continue our conversation with Stephanie Lawrence Yelton, and you've got a tough stretch coming up right now. First off, you have North Alabama, a 2-loss team, and then on the heels of that, of course, they sit right below Union in the conference standings. Then you have one of the two teams to beat North Alabama and UAH on the back of that. What a tough stretch this is.
This is going to be a really tough road stretch, and it's not an easy trip. Not an easy trip to get up to Florence, Alabama, and then down to Huntsville and then back home. But these two teams are playing great basketball right now. They spread you out defensively. They work really hard. They cut and move really hard. I mean, it's going to be a good intensive game prep to get ready for these two games.
Well, let's start with North Alabama. They lead the GSC in scoring. They're averaging over 40 or 84 points a game. Their margin is plus 25, so it's not like they're just scoring a lot. Their defense is pretty good too. So let's start with the offense. What makes them so strong offensively?
They've got some great perimeter players that can really shoot the basketball. But not only can they shoot, they can penetrate and put the ball on the floor. They've added a transfer post player that has helped them out. Last year, I thought they really lacked that inside presence, and now they have that in Brittany Panetti. And so, you know, again, just balanced scoring from around the horn. Kids that can shoot it, can drive it, they can rebound it. You know, they're a good team.
Well, you look at what they do defensively. Oh, by the way, they're also pretty good. Tied for third in the conference there, 59.4 points allowed. They're ahead of Union in both categories, offensively and defensively. And we talked about Union being the team that's just running away with the conference right now. So there's not really a break defensively either.
No, North Alabama, they're like the Energizer Bunnies. You know, I'm watching on the film, and they never slow down. They are all over the court. They're all over the place. Their hands and feet are constantly moving. And so you can never relax. And that's a hard team to play against, that when you need a breather or you need a chance to take a break, you can't. And that'll be the challenge for us this week.
Do you feel like you guys have an edge when it comes to three-point shooting? Because you guys have shot it well from outside, especially with the way Shami's been shooting it lately.
You know, I think with our perimeter players, Shami and Bell can keep shooting the ball the way they have. If Chloe plays really great in the paint like she's been doing, we still get contributions, Haley and Courtney in there, and then get some players off the bench to come in and get us some good minutes. I think we've got a really good shot of beating them. But we'll have to play a close to perfect game. And sometimes that can be difficult to do. Two
of the top 5 scorers in the GSC are Waylands. They have 3 of them on their team. Are they going to be at North Al forever? It seems like they've been there a while.
They were only freshmen last year, you know, so this is only their second season. And, you know, they had one sister that was stronger than the other 2 last year, and now the other 2 have come into their own at the college level. So I think North Alabama is a team that really wants to make a statement as they exit the GSC this season. This is their last year in the league. They're moving to Division I, and I really think they want to put an exclamation point on that final season.
What are some of the things you can do to kind of slow them down offensively?
You know, we're going to have to pressure the ball. We're going to have to play good help defense. We've got to keep the ball on one side of the floor. We can't let them move and cut to the basket on us. But really, it's a matter of just us digging in. One-on-one play is going to be huge. One-on-one play in the block, one-on-one play on the perimeter. Not allowing them to go to their personal strengths is one of the things that we'll focus on this week.
And, of course, they rebound well, because why not? I mean, they do everything else so well. Why not rebound while they're at it?
That's it. And, you know, we're much better in that rebounding category in these last 2 games than we've been this season. We're keeping people off the boards. We're crashing offensively. I mean, Chloe had 16 rebounds by herself just the other day, and so it's going to be a good challenge.
Well, let's discuss UAH a little bit. The same question for them, but on the other side, you have a chance to scout both teams. So what do you kind of see out of these two teams? Because they've already played each other.
They play similar styles on offense. So for us, game prepping, our defensive game plan will be more about personnel versus scheming offensive plays. So that's an advantage for us, is that because they play similar systems that we can, you know, really dig in to their personnel a little bit better. But, you know, UAH, I think inside we have the advantage. They don't have really strong post players on their team, so I think we can take advantage of our paint play. And like I said, that's a good thing for us now that we've got Chloe playing some great basketball in the paint. We've got Haley in there, we've got Courtney in there, and now Daniel Norquist coming off the bench a few minutes these past week really gives us 4 players we can go to in the paint.
And that's good. They've got 2 really good scores. Katie Spiegel's been playing well. She had 26 the other day, she had more than double her average. And then also Chandler Elder's been playing well for them. So it's certainly, you've got your work cut out for you, but good luck on this road trip. Have some fun, and hopefully you can come back with a couple more wins.
Thanks, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Well, when we come back, we're going to sit down with Chloe Branch. She has been on fire lately. She had a season-high 28 in her last game against AUM, and she's put up 59 in her last 3 games. We'll chat with Chloe next. This is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
We are not here to drift. We were born to move, to change, to jump in, dive deep, make waves, break through. We were born to splash. The University of West Florida is America's best university for making a splash. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. Argonaut athletes are smart. This we already knew, but we were reminded again with the announcement of the Fall GSC All-Academic Squad. The Argos placed a conference best 10 student athletes on the list. As you might expect, with the biggest roster, football had 5 players selected. Reggie Barnes and John Williamson both repeated on the list, while Tate Latillo, Chris Schwartz, and Josh Smiley all made it for the first time. Renee Cox and Will Kimmler were recognized from the cross-country team. Women's soccer had senior goalkeeper Caitlin Burkhart, while Jordan Poppin and Nadine Williams made the list from volleyball. Now that the weather is hopefully warming up, it means that spring sports are on the horizon. The conference has bestowed high expectations on the West Florida softball team, which comes as no surprise on the heels of their trip to the NCAA Division II softball championships. Already ranked 5th nationally, they enter the conference front-runners to getting 10 of the possible 14 first-place votes. Sarah Maloney, Rhiannon Sassman, and Megan Toney were singled out as preseason All-GSC selections. Baseball hopes to turn things around this season after a disappointing finish last year. They are picked 4th in the conference preseason rankings. Dylan Mills DeProen and Mason Dennison were selected to the GSC's top newcomer list. Baseball opens play next Friday in Lakeland, while softball gets underway the same day in Gulf Shores. On the tennis court, Derek Racine has his teams ready to open play in early February. His men's team is ranked number 1 in the nation, coming off a 32-1 national championship season last year. The women aren't far behind on their side of things, with a number 5 national ranking. Both teams open play February 10th, Valdosta, Georgia, against Palm Beach Atlantic. Well, Sunday afternoon, Chloe Branch had 28 points. That was after scoring a season-best 20 on Friday. On top of the high scoring output, she also totaled 26 rebounds over the last couple of games. Let's welcome in Chloe now. Chloe, this has got to be a lot of fun for you with the way you guys have been playing lately.
Yes, it's been awesome. It's been a great experience to have with these girls and my coaches. It's been awesome.
Well, Coach talked about, you've put in some extra work here recently, and it's amazing the success you've had. Talk about what you've kind of been doing to get your game to that next level.
Really, I've just been watching film with Coach Quick, working on my defense, and then I get in the gym extra. I've been trying to stay at least like 15 minutes extra just working on post moves and my shots, and it's been paying off.
You've got to be a pretty good athlete to be able to work on something and that quickly see results, especially the results that you've been seeing. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yes, well, really, I have to give all credit to God. I'm just grateful that I even was able to choose this school. It was just a great decision for me. And just working on it. I've been working throughout the season. It's not like just this week or anything, but it's finally paying off, and just having great teammates that give me the ball has been awesome.
You came from a Division I program.
Yes.
You wrapped up school there. You graduated. You knew you had a year left. So what stood out to you about UWF?
Really, their amazing season last year, and just the culture of a championship. I really want to win one my last season, so this was the best option for me in doing that.
And you're in grad school. What are you studying right now?
I'm studying public administration with a concentration in nonprofit leadership.
And how'd you get interested in that? That's something you want to be highly involved in when you get out of school, right?
Yes, I've been passionate about it for a while, and I'm blessed that my church has opportunities for me. We go out every month and we go feed the homeless, and that's been just a passion that's been growing for me, and I want to put that into my career.
Oh, that's cool. So is that, when you think about it, like what type of work do you want to do? I guess where do you see yourself working once you're all done?
Well, beginning, I want to be more hands-on, working with the homeless. I've done volunteer work with Atlanta Mission back at home, and just with my church, as I've previously mentioned. But I want to work with public policy, bigger picture, and just making policies that are helping others that are less fortunate.
That's incredible. Well, good luck with that mission. That's excellent to hear. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chloe, for stopping by. The men squeaked by West Georgia before their comeback against AUM fell short. Jeff Burkhamer is here next to discuss. This is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
The world is our ocean, and we are here to make a splash, to dive deep, to create, to develop, to break through. At the University of West Florida, there's no limit to how you can make a splash. Don't just sit on shore, jump in. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Welcome into Argo Sports Weekly. It's now time to change our attention to men's basketball. And we welcome in Argonaut men's basketball coach Jeff Burkhamer. Coach, you come home, you've got an opportunity for 2 big wins and a chance to set the record for the school's longest home winning streak. You end up splitting at home, a very exciting game Friday night against West Georgia, then stumbled a little bit against a team that really looks like they're playing quite a bit better now, Auburn Montgomery.
Well, 2 tough games. We knew both games would be difficult, and they were. Both games were tough to play, even at home. Friday night hung on to win, and then Sunday we just didn't really play very well. But proud of our guys. We hadn't lost since December 31st, 2016 at home, so that's a long time. So proud of that streak, but a little disappointed we weren't able to continue it.
And let's look at the game that matched the school's longest winning streak at home. DJ Thorpe making an impact early, throwing it down.
DJ's just so good defensively. He gets his hands on a lot of balls, and it leads to some easy baskets.
And right there, Motir Dang making a play inside. Henry Ventanimi seems like he's been playing a lot better lately.
Playing very well, getting more minutes because he's doing a good job scoring it, not losing it down inside, and thought he's really worked.
And we saw a lot of Latrell Tidwell the last couple of days. Seems like he's starting to take his game to the next level. Rashawn Benson's done a lot of distributing, but he can get points when he needs. And then Daryl Tucker.
All those guys have contributed in different ways. Another great pass right there from DJ to Daryl, and we need to continue to get some plays like that.
And then Henry, how about that? Throwing it down.
With a dunk. Yeah, Big Henry with a dunk. Nice play by Rashawn.
Hey, good to see Henry. It seems like, he's added some physicality to his game. Hasn't been playing a ton. We're starting to see him get some more significant minutes.
Yeah, he's playing well. I think he's doing a good job rebounding the ball right now. He's scoring better. He's not losing it. We've talked to him about tucking the ball in, being stronger with the ball, and I think he's made that adjustment and can hopefully continue to improve.
That West Georgia game, they're a tricky team to play, aren't they?
Well, they're a team that can score. They had averaged, the last 4 games before they played us, they had scored 99 points or more in each of those games. So we knew there was going to be a game where we'd have to defend well, and we've defended just well enough to win the game.
88-86 the final in that game, and it's just, again, it's a common denominator with your teams this year. You guys are playing excellent defense, which has led to the success you guys have had.
Our defense has been pretty solid for most of the year, and nights where we haven't defended as well, we've done something else to find a way to win. So hopefully our defense will continue to improve. We'll continue to get better offensively and close out the year the right way.
And let's go to the game against Auburn. Montgomery got off to a tough start. They opened up a big lead at halftime. But this is a big 3 from Marvin Jones, which I thought might kind of spark things.
Well, the second half we played much better. First half we just didn't play with a lot of energy, and credit them. They come out and they played very, very well. But if you look at stats, sometimes stats are deceiving. Sometimes they tell a great truth. And we had 13 turnovers at halftime, 1 for 5 or 0 for 5 from the foul line, and we were down because of it. And in the second half, we come back and play much better. Had a chance, got into the game late, and just weren't able to finish. Just ran out of time.
And here's a good kick, great ball movement. Thorpe knocks down the 3 there, which made it close again. You guys are alive and well at this point. Another great look from the free throw line from Jones. Thorpe again able to make a play. It's amazing what he's been able to do this year.
He's had a great year. DJ's been really solid throughout the year, both offensively and defensively, and really proud of what he's accomplished.
He finished that game with 16 points. Marvin Jones had 17 in that game. And Henry Ventadimi, another big game for him, scoring in double figures. He's scored in double figures now in his last 2 games, 14 again in the game against West Georgia. Then he had 13 in the game against Auburn Montgomery. That's a game that certainly stings against Auburn Montgomery. There's no way around that. How much do you guys learn from something like that? How much is it of a wake-up call for a team like this?
Well, you see all around the country, upsets happen all the time, and we played a really poor first half. The second half, our effort was good, our energy was good, and we got back in the game. So hopefully we learn from it, understand that every night's a challenge. You got to respect your opponents, and those guys come in and played great against us. We didn't play real well. And it's funny, Tommy, both games that we've lost this year, we've gone 8 for 18 from the foul line. And to me, that's a lot of focus, and right. Both in games that are one-possession games that we could have won.
Well, and I don't want to harp on it, but threes weren't going either for you in the first half. Yeah. I mean, they were lighting it up from outside, and I didn't think the shot selection was bad in the first half from three-point range.
We were just a little bit impatient because you saw at the beginning of the second half, we were able to go inside, and really score and take control really the second half. But we're a team that has to get better and get into third and fourth and fifth options. You're playing teams now that are in the league. They scout you. They know tendencies, and you got to be able to play to more options later in the possession. You can't probably score off 1 or 2 options. So we got to get better with that.
Well, you guys never like to lose, but you look at a lot of deep runs in the history of college basketball, and it seems like there was a tough loss at some point in a lot of those runs, so maybe that'll be the case with this team. We'll move forward and look ahead to the tough road trip coming up. It doesn't look to be an easy one. For the women, it's certainly a tough trip. For the men, much of the same. We'll talk with Coach Burkhamer next.
We are not here to drift. We were born to move, to change, to jump in, dive deep, make waves, break through. We were born to splash. The University of West Florida is America's best university for making a splash. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. We continue our conversation with Argonaut men's head basketball coach Jeff Burkhamer. Traditionally, these two schools are very tough. You've got North Alabama first, then at Alabama, Huntsville. Tough road trip Thursday, Saturday, especially North Alabama. They're going to be Division I next year. these two schools very good. So let's start with North Alabama. They're 5-6 right now in the conference, 10-8 overall, but sometimes the records don't indicate just how good a school is.
Yeah, because they're 8-2 at home, and they play very well at home. We know that they've been traditionally very good at home. They've got good guards. They've got some big guys that can play. They're going to change defenses on us. So another good challenge, especially on the road.
You talk about their guard play. They can certainly score it. They average 83 points a game. They're one spot behind UAH in the conference ranking. So what makes their offense so prolific?
They just push the ball. It's something we've had trouble with the last couple of games of getting back and getting people stopped off of misses and turnovers. And we'll have to do a much better job of defensive transition and making them run their half-court offense and then containing and contesting and try to finish possessions.
I feel like that's something you guys did a pretty good job of early on.
Early on, I think we did a good job. In the last couple of games, we've played teams that really run the ball, and we turned it over too much. And our turnovers, usually lead to bad things, and that's what happened. They would get easy runouts and some easy baskets against us.
Kind of an interesting situation. Those two teams just got done playing each other, Alabama Huntsville and North Al. Have you had a chance to really get a good look at them and an opportunity where you can scout both schools at the same time?
Well, we start looking at North Al this week, and then we get into Huntsville later in the week. But both these teams are good. Both these teams are well coached. Both these teams have had good traditions in basketball. We know we've got to play very, very well to go on the road and beat them.
Kendall Stafford, Kendarius Smith, they seem like a pretty strong 1-2 punch, their top two scorers. So are there some things, there's some looks that you can throw at them to throw them off a little?
Well, we're going to try to do what we do better. We just got to go back to work on making some adjustments, making sure guys understand completely what we're doing in our slides in our zone, and then doing a better job containing the ball in our man-to-man. And we've won 17 games playing this way. We're not going to all of a sudden change everything. We're going to go back to working on getting better at what we're doing and, take away that slippage.
North Al just got done beating UAH on the road, which is a big win for them, especially as good as UAH is at home. Then they have Valdosta right after you guys are done. I'm sure you'd rather play them after Valdosta because Valdosta's a team that can wear some folks down.
Well, it's a good trip either way. I mean, you're going to have two great games. Valdosta going in there to play North Al and Huntsville, and we got the same trip because they're our travel partners. Mm-hmm. So that's a good challenge for all four teams right there. That's going to be good matchups.
Are you starting to see teams play you guys a little bit differently now that you've had the success that you have?
I think teams get a little more excited about playing us. You could see that with Montgomery. They were real excited about playing us. They came in and wanted to come after us a little bit in the first half, and they did. They punched us in the mouth, and we didn't handle it real well. And I think teams do get excited about playing others that are at the top of the league, and that's kind of what's happened with us. We're at the top of the league. First time we've had to deal with this. So it's a little bit different, and we got to handle success a little better.
I know you said you're going to look at UAH a little later in the week, but let's talk about them real quick. They fell by 3 to UNA. Historically very good. Are they similar to what they've been in the past?
Their system is the same. They have a very good system of how they play. Their players are different. They're a little bit younger this year, but they're now a little more seasoned. I mean, we're 20 games into the year, and teams they know what they're doing now, and that'll be a good challenge. They're scoring a lot of points. They had over 100 points 2 or 3 games in a row. So defensively, again, it'll be a good matchup.
Well, let's take a look. We've got a question that was submitted today in our Ask the Coach segment. If you've got a question that you'd like to ask Coach Burkhamer, go to our website and go to the men's basketball page and click Ask the Coach. Today's question comes from Bill Francis in Kingsport, Tennessee. He says, congratulations on your great season so far. His question's a little bit off topic. He wants to ask you about your high school playing days. Do you remember those days?
A long time ago.
Just a couple years ago,
Yeah, a long
right?
time ago.
You were a great player, and one that he says he remembers vividly. So here goes it. What is your fondest memory of your Yellow Jacket days, and is there any part of your coaching style or philosophy that you credit to your high school or college coaches?
Well, I appreciate Billy sending that question in. I think his dad was my high school coach for 2 years. My sophomore year, we went to the state tournament. That was one of probably the biggest thrills, and played against Earl Jones, who was a #1 draft pick by the Lakers, a big 6'10" kid that was a very, very good player. So that would be one of the highlights. And then probably beating Dave Scott's Gilmer County team in the regional as a senior. Was a big game. That was a good rivalry game, and some of my best friends come out of that game. But there's a lot of good things come out of high school, and you look at philosophy now. I think you take something from everybody that coaches you, whether it be Coach Francis, Coach Lathy, Coach Sorrow, my college coaches, Coach Barksdale, Coach Brinkley. You take things from all those guys that you like, and you try to put them in to maybe your philosophy and work it into how you coach.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Certainly appreciate it. Good luck on what's going to be a tough road trip.
Thank you.
All right. That wraps things up for today. Of course, if you have a question, don't forget, go to goargos.com and the men's basketball page. stage. That does it this week. Both teams are on the road, but don't worry, you can still stay up to date at GoArgos.com. And we'll see you at the Fieldhouse to root on your Argos when they return Thursday, February 1st. Big thanks to Jeff, Chloe, Stephanie, and our entire crew. I'm Tommy Thrall. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.